Welcome to my bedroom. We haven't been here in a while, but today it just worked out with my new live schedule. I just posted in the Big Family Moms group. I will be going live now that I'm back into the school year, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesdays. So here I am upstairs, actually just below the screen. Maybe I can show. Oh, there's little Corey. She'll get to say hi before the end of the video. Today I have on my heart to talk to you about how to avoid burnout. Oh, look, here she is. How to avoid burnout as a big family mom. And there was actually a lot of things I could share about. This one was really pressed on my heart. I just had a few minutes before I went live with you, nursing the baby quietly, quiet time at our house, praying for the women in the group. And it can be a little, daunting. 4.4 thousand women, Big Family Moms group. I started only a year ago with a heart to help other big family moms with the practical side of big family momhood and the heart side as well, right? So like the home and the heart piece, because they're really two sides of the same coin. And just wanting you to know, I was praying because sometimes I have moments where I'm like, oh Lord, like, can I do this? Can I do what you've set before me to do? 4.4 thousand women and growing by about 100 a week. And just reminding me, he's like, leave it in my hands, leave it in my hands, do what you know to do and leave it in my hands. And which ties into my theme today of avoiding burnout. Because I have moments when I feel it, even, as a leader in a Big Family Moms Facebook community, the work that I do behind the scenes and what that means in terms of time, money, effort, just like emotional bandwidth. And I can feel it sometimes. I have warning signs that I know actually through having gone through burnout a couple of times. Sometimes I didn't even know it was happening until it was over. And I was like, oh, that was rough. So I've learned from experience what some of my warning signs are and how to avoid it in the first place, whether it's in my social life, as the social part of my life. It's not like I have a separate life. You know what I mean? Like the social dimension of my life, professional dimension of my life, obviously being a big family mom. Oh, and we homeschool too. So I have many hats that I wear like any mom, but especially a big family mom with a lot going on usually, especially if you just had a baby or you're transitioning into a new season of life, as many of us are with back to school or back to homeschool, as often, but not all big family moms do happen to homeschool. There's a demographic there. So what's been helping me avoid burnout this time with all the hats that I wear, including this Big Family Moms community, is easy does it. And really easing into things as much as is humanly possible, trusting in the grace of God to give me and you specific wisdom for our specific situations. And God knows, really, truly, I mean that literally, God knows what each one of us as big family moms are dealing with at this particular juncture of our lives, right? Just sharing with you a little bit from she's found my pearl, from my own life is back to school. A lot of things have started back up, like post-COVID, right? All the lockdowns and stuff here in Canada, where I live, things are starting back up. So some community involvement that I have has restarted. I'm one of the board of directors on a musical theater company. I love musical theater, and it's something I share with some of my children who are involved on stage and off stage. And that has been at a grinding halt for 2 years, but it's restarting back up. And without getting into the whole story, that's a whole other thing that I haven't really had to do for 2 years. And I enjoyed the break, but I'm also glad that it's back. And Corey is now 8 months old. So she's in a bit more of a routine than certainly she was as a newborn. So whether or not you're back to school, homeschool style, or you've just had a baby, or you're about to have a baby, or you're just going through a season of change, easy does it. And here's how I apply it. I, for example, have given myself the entire month of September, because we start right after Labor Day. That's when I both legally and personally choose to, well, I don't choose to start legally, but that's the law where I live in Canada. I start every Tuesday after Labor Day, right? So that first day after Labor Day, Monday, I think it's called something different in the States. Is you guys have Labor Day or is it Memorial Day there? I don't remember. Even though I know she's wearing an American onesie, which, side note, and I'll get back to my actual talk, was given to my firstborn daughter. But it was our first baby gift given when we were at Bible College in Minnesota. And some dear friends of ours, classmates, one from the Netherlands, the other American, who they're a couple at the time. I think they have 4 children now. My goodness, it's been like 20 years. They bought us this gift, 17 years, because they found out we just announced we were pregnant with our first child on Mother's Day of, I guess it would have been 2004. And they were so happy. They shared our joy. and they bought us this little onesie, and they wrote, "For your baby who's made in America." And she was made in America, born in Canada, but made in America. And every single one of my children, boy and girl alike, have been made to wear this and have little photo ops in it as well. So my 6-year-old picks out her clothes almost every day or every other day. I don't change her clothes every day. It's like, why? But she always chooses the weirdest thing. Look what she's got her in. Yellow pants with ducks and this American flag onesie. Oh, so easy does it. Back to the story. Yes, the whole month of September to ease into things. So instead of trying to go from like summer relaxed schedule, I only do math in the summer just because one summer we didn't do math at all and everybody forgot how to do like basic addition and multiplication. It took us 2 months to get back at things. So we keep it really light over the summer. And then I ease into it September. I don't expect myself to be full steam until October, even after Canadian Thanksgiving. So for anyone who's not familiar, we celebrate Thanksgiving the second weekend of October. So like by mid-October, then I give myself, I don't write this down, but I just have it mental now because I've done it so many times. By mid-October, if I'm not where I planned to be with my homeschool in this case, then I can reevaluate. What did I bite off more than I could chew? Was I over ambitious? Is something going wrong and I need to make some adjustments? How's my health? How's my heart? How's my head? How am I doing? I mean, like as a person running the affairs of the home and all, like I just listed off a couple things. And it's probably different for you. You might have other extracurricular activities that are kicking off, right? Awana is signing up this Wednesday, so that kicks off I think in 2 weeks. Sunday school is back up and starting again, right? It's September. Honest to goodness, is a busier month than December. Is that true for you? Let me know in the comments below. Like, what's your busiest time of year, barring having a baby? But just like every year, you know the flow, right? Especially if you've been a big family mom now for more than a year or two, you know where you feel it the most. And for me, it's September. Harvest is coming in, right? We're not farmers, but we have our garden. And if I'm going to can or make salsa or make pickles or anything, this is the month. It all comes crashing in. Oh, and then there's the fair going on too, right? You feel it. So easing... Can you still hear me over all these chirps? I'm going to put her on the floor. Easing into it is a really good piece of advice. I'm like even speaking to myself. I'm going to give her my scrunchie. Here, want to play that? Take it. So the first week, I was like, we're going to start super light. And I've done this postpartum. So when I had her back in December, and my husband works seasonally, so we had the advantage of God planning for our 11th born child to be born right before Christmas. So I just knew that after Christmas, we were just going to ease back into it. And the analogy I think of as I wrap up my thoughts here are easing back, like easing into traffic. You know how it is when you merge into the highway? And you can gun it as soon as, and you're going to, you got to get up to speed. So it's a limited analogy. But I know there's that ramp, and I like those nice long on and off ramps, right? Have you ever been on one? Oh my gosh, when we lived in Minnesota, sorry if you live in the Twin Cities, but their on and off ramps were like scary. They were so short. It was like I felt like I had 50 feet. And all of a sudden I was like, I'm on the highway. Grrr. That can be really stressful. I guess the analogy is good because if you haven't given yourself enough of an on ramp, it's a setup for burnout. I've done it enough times now that I can feel the warning signs in my body. Right. I can see how it affects me. And then I can begin to like downshift, right? I can be like, ooh, I need to ease off the gas as much as I can. And I know sometimes like when it rains, it pours. There's health stuff going on, family drama stuff going on, just stuff that's beyond your human control. And that stuff you got to bring it to the Lord, right? And just be like, Lord, and here are my loaves and fishes, right? It's so little and it's such a mess. Please like multiply my ability and help me to see where in my life maybe I'm pushing too hard and going too fast. Maybe I had the best of intentions to be this amazing big family mom and do all these things for all my kids all simultaneously. And now, oh my goodness, how am I going to pull this off, right? When the brick wall of reality hits and the logistics are a setup for mom burnout. So if you find yourself now, whenever you're catching this video, if you're catching it live today, a little bit in the future, or years from now in the distant future, because this is all kept in YouTube as an archive for big family moms. This is like the library of info and wisdom from a veteran mom that I wish I'd had. So I just want you to know that one of the best tips I can give to help you avoid burnout is to ease into it. I have a technique that I share in my Big Family Moms group. You can find it in the guide section in terms of like decluttering, but this applies to so much. is triaging your life. And so I won't get into that too much now, but if you like want to kind of know like how to identify where to even focus so that I don't bite off way more than I can chew, especially when there's a lot going on. I call it triaging. It's just to identify your priorities rather than trying to do it all at once, because trying to do it all at once, setup. It really is a setup. And yeah, you got your front burner stuff, the stuff that's like really high priority, and the lower priority back burner stuff that you just got on simmer. And there, it takes some trial and error. So give yourself lots of grace if you do realize you've bitten off a little bit more than you can chew. My triage technique, like I said, I share in terms of decluttering, but it applies to everything in my life. So I've done that this month. My priorities right now, just off the top of my head, because I didn't write them down, but I do have I do actually break this down in my big family home course if you really want to deep dive into it, and not just get the free stuff, but you really want to learn how to manage your home, your life, and keep calm and organized in a routine at the same time. I really deep dive into how to triage, and I give worksheets, but I've got it mentally now because I've done it. It's like now for me, it's secondhand because I've practiced. But when you're new to something, it really helps sometimes to have a visual to how to break it all down. And then I know where am I focusing this month in terms of the new routine. We have a whole new chore routine because I kick that off every September. We're back to homeschool. And I have a new learner. My 6-year-old has now joined the phrase. I have 8 full-time homeschoolers right now. And I mean, when you're 6, it's not a lot, but still, it's there and I need to get it done. And I also have some other things in my life. So I put my priorities in my mental order, and then that helps me decide how I'm going to do it. But if I tried to come out the gate second, right after Labor Day, hit the gas as hard as I could and do everything, like just set a clock because it's probably going to be, yeah, Thanksgiving, Canadian Thanksgiving in October before I start to show the signs, if not sooner, of wear and tear. And for me, it looks like I'm losing sleep. I'm staying up way too late, quick temper, like quick to just quip at people I love, my children, my husband. Those are warning signs in my life, in me, that something's not right. And I need to like step back and evaluate and then ease into things. And if it takes me 6 weeks postpartum, 6 months postpartum, if it takes me the whole year, right, to just get into a flow, especially if it's new and you've, for example, never homeschooled before, and it's give yourself grace, give yourself space, ease into it. It'll go a lot easier. So that's what I had on my heart to share with you today. I hope that has been a blessing to you. Corey has now rolled her way across the floor. She's starting to make her way into the bathroom. So I'm going to go, and she's only rolling now, so she can't go too fast. It's terribly cute. I wish I could show you, but I'll have to show you her later. Feel free to let me know. How are you doing? Are you easing into things this September? What's it look like for you? And if you'd like more help with how to get yourself into a routine that works for you as a big family mom, the Big Family Home course is linked below. And of course, there's an invitation to join my group if you're catching this somewhere else. Like I said, I've got all kinds of freebies in gold stuffed in the guide section on how to like ease into things, how to get into routine, how to do this big family mom stuff with style, with class, a little bit of humor, and a whole lot of grace.